Good morning, gamers. I'm in a silly mood today, y'all. So, good morning. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the daily vlog here. DnDaily number 56. I am Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood today. I have to say thank you before I get into anything else. I just really want to say thank you, because I saw a notification on my phone last night, another subscriber on the channel, and all these little goals, these little incremental goals that I've set for myself are, when I'm achieving them, it feels amazing. So, quick tip, personal development stuff there. Set yourself small, incremental goals that move you towards your big goals. Because then you can celebrate all along the way. And each time you complete one of those little goals, you're building self-confidence. So, that's a powerful tip, whether it's for your games or your life or just anywhere in your experience as a human being. It's a super awesome tip to follow, so please enjoy that. And for me, that's sort of what I did. Again, I've mentioned before, I set this goal to do a daily video for D&D and for gaming and RPG. A daily video on my channel. I've been doing that since January. It's feeling awesome. Now I'm in a rhythm. Now it's a habit. I don't even think about it. I just do it every day, whether I feel like it or not. Because truth be told, there are some days where I'm just not feeling it. And I have to get myself kind of hyped and like do a little rah-rah before I record. Today I'm excited because I'm so grateful. I feel great doing this, and the fact that some of these videos are hitting home, maybe, I suppose, is just excellent. I just want to create, I'm trying to create something that has value to y'all. Whether it's entertaining maybe, or amusing, like, because I'm a dork and I know it, and I act like a fool on some of these videos, or just talk about nonsense seemingly sometimes. So either you're getting a laugh, or maybe some of the information I'm sharing is helpful. Like, I hope that little tidbit about, personal development, set little tiny goals, because little tiny goals are easy to achieve, and then once you keep going though, again, I'm repeating myself. You get those done, you make the big goals. So, thank you to my subscribers. Now, with that being said, I have to ask, what do you guys want to know about? Because there's like, I'm paying attention a little bit. There's like a couple of you that are watching almost all the videos, I think. And if not so, most of them. So I'm mostly talking to you. I'm talking to anyone that's watching or listening to this. I'm mostly talking to you that are consistently watching these. Like, give me some feedback. Send me a comment in the videos and say, what do you want to hear about? What should I talk about? I'll talk about random stuff, obviously. I do that every day. And at the same time, I'm also trying to talk about useful, meaningful stuff. And what would really help me is if I know the kind of questions or things that y'all would like to hear about. If there's something specific, a rule, a character, a creature, a game, a show, like one of the shows, anything, whatever it is, I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So maybe, I wonder if you're old enough to even have any idea what that reference is to. So, regardless of that, okay, enough silliness for today. Let me get serious for a minute. I would love to just do a quick update. It looks like the Critical Role Kickstarter is probably going to hit the 7.5 million mark. They're at like 7,220,000 or something when I just checked a few minutes ago, which is unbelievable. I think it's going to get there to 7.5 million, which is another 2 of these cartoons that we're going to get. So just awesome stuff. And also, I guess they're going to do a... if they get that goal, there'll be a battle royale of the guests on Critical Role, which could be kind of cool. So maybe they're going to do a one-shot where they bring back some of the guests they've had on the show, and they all have battle royale, which could be crazy and fun and would be super entertaining, of course. We did a great game last night. So Let's talk about my Wednesday night game for a moment. So the Kingdom of Agic, hashtag Agic, A-G-I-C-K. The campaign is going to end up being this long campaign, which is kind of fun and exciting for me. And the campaign has gone through some ups and downs. We've gone from having 2 players to 4 players to 6 players to 4 players to 5 players to 6 players to we keep like gaining and losing people. Right now we're rounded out at, we're pretty much going to be rounded out at 4 players for a while. I think 4 or 5. We might have a 5th. We have 2 players. If you watch it at all, Luna and Gitgrot, the characters, they are individual. They're friends of ours who have played with us on occasion. However, their personal schedules are a little bit more not as flexible, and they can't be in the game consistently, which is fine. That's the way life goes. And so for me, I want to be able to run the game consistently without having to NPC 2 or 3 characters. I mean, if you have 6 characters in a party and only 3 players show up, you can't really run the game, in my opinion. You can, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. Whereas if you have 4 players and one of them is out for a session, it's not as bad. So I'm going to talk about that. Let me wrap this video up by talking about that for just a moment. How do you deal with players not showing up? Well, there's 2 ways to deal with it. One, if it's a one-shot kind of deal and they don't show up, I mean, that's just downright irresponsible and rude. Unless it's an emergency, life happens. But if they don't show up and they don't tell you they're going to show up, that's kind of like, damn, you know, like, I do all this effort and you don't show up, so you're probably going to have to take them off your list for future games. It stinks, but that's kind of what happens. If you're a gaming group and you play on a regular basis, you know, you have to feel out with the other players and yourself, you know, where do you stand with this? If it's someone who, when they are there, they're a huge contributor, have lots of fun. However, for whatever reason, they're not able to make it all the time, then you just work that into the game somehow. You figure out like, well, okay, when they're not there, their character is going to be an NPC in the group. Or when maybe you're running a game where it's easy for characters to sort of come in and out of the narrative. In this game, the reason I said, well, Luna and Gitgrot are going to escort one of the captives up to the surface and help them get to safety, because we're down in a dungeon underground, and it's not convenient to have characters coming in and out. We can do it. It's awkward, and I'll hand wave a little bit of stuff, but I don't always feel comfortable doing that like every other session. That gets old and kind of like lame, and so, you know, but, you know, here's the reality. We all get sick. We all get called into work for odd stuff at odd times. I mean, there's days I had to postpone my game last week, because I had some stuff come up with my son and my wife that I had to handle. You know, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and that is my priority. Have to go deal with that first. So you're going to find that in your own games. It does happen. I think the best way to deal with it is to take a lighthearted approach about it and recognize that we're coming together to have fun and play games, and that's cool. So remember that first, and then deal with the fact that, like, hey, we're also adults, so let's be good with our commitments and play. Be there, show up. If you're a player, show up. If you're the DM, show up and be ready to play on time or early. And that's just common courtesy, right? It's common human courtesy. And if it's becoming a challenge where someone doesn't show up regularly, they're always late to the game or that kind of stuff, you gotta have a conversation with them and say, like, dude or gal, whatever it is, guy, gal, whatever, that's just my habits, so forgive me. But say, hey, it's causing stress for me as the DM, and it's kind of rude to the other players because we're all sitting here like thumbing, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for you to show up, and we're all here on time, and we gotta wait 15-20 minutes every time for you to show up. That's not cool, because then the other players are going to start showing up 10, 20 minutes late. And that just leads to a real bad game experience overall. What you really want to do is encourage everyone to show up early, or at least let you know, like, hey, I can't make it. And if the time doesn't work, then it's just the time. Like, if somebody's 20 minutes late all the time, well, what's going on? Are you rushing home from work? Because that's lame. We don't want you to have to do that. We'll just start a half an hour later. And that way, you know you can get home on time. You'll have 5 or 10 minutes to get yourself together, and that way, you'll be 10 minutes early. So, I've talked about this quite often. I guess it's something that I think about often, and so hey, hopefully that will help you in your games. I don't have anything else to say today. I appreciate you. Again, back to the top of the video. Thank you, and tell me what you want. I'll see you at a table someday, and until then, keep rolling 20s, my friends.